Those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders.
Just when everyone thought that Diddy's documentary dropped the final mic, 50 Cent came crashing in and said, "Nah, it ain't over yet." He just stirred the pot again, teasing never-before-seen tapes, uncut footage, and raw moments that supposedly had some rappers straight up in tears. The kind of wild stuff that makes the internet lose its mind. Now whispers say there's footage floating around, like that one shocking clip from last year where folks claimed it showed Diddy with Meek in a crazy situation that had people gasping online. Meek didn't waste a second fighting back. He jumped on social media fast, calling the video fake, blaming AI tech, and saying bots were trying to ruin his name. He even posted that deep message saying, "Ox, my voice, so powerful as a black man from the ghetto worldwide, they want it gone. I'm a real king, straight out the trenches, under control of no human." He talked about how people learn how to damage and how it's all part of these fake online campaigns run like political moves. Strong words for sure. But the issue, the internet just wasn't buying it. Folks said the audio didn't sound random at all. It sounded too real. Then rumors started flying that someone from the inside, supposedly a security guard at that same party, was the one who actually recorded it himself. Things just keep getting messier. That's when Jaguar Wright stormed in and turned the drama all the way up. She came out swinging hard, claiming that Meek's ex, Nicki Minaj, was the one pulling the strings behind that leaked clip. According to her, Nicki allegedly dropped a bag on a bodyguard and set the whole thing up like some undercover operation. That accusation alone had the internet spinning. But then, Nicki jumped on a podcast and made things even spicier. She joked that Meek loves controversy and wasn't even stressing over the audio leak. She laughed it off, kept it light and playful. But that chill attitude had everyone side-eyeing the situation. People started wondering if she really knew more than she was letting on. Next thing you know, DJ Academics popped up, and when ACT talks, it's always raw and unfiltered. He started dropping hints, saying Meek was allegedly one of Diddy's favorite boys. And that's when everything exploded.
What? Yo, wait a minute! Wait, oh!
Meek went off online, completely lost his cool. He started firing back with threats and heated posts that had fans worried and confused. That emotional meltdown didn't help his case one bit. The more he talked, the more folks thought he was trying to cover something up instead of clearing the air. He even said he'd throw $100,000 into an investigation to prove he was innocent. Big promises, wild energy, but after that, nothing. No proof, no updates, just straight up silence. And online, silence after a loud promise always looks suspicious. That's when Meek tried to switch the narrative. Suddenly, he was rocking with the No Diddy crew, publicly cutting ties and acting like he wanted nothing to do with Diddy's name anymore. But the internet never forgets. Old videos started resurfacing. Clips of Diddy jokingly calling Meek Daddy during parties started going viral again. People once laughed them off, but now they hit totally different. Then came the wildest flashback. The infamous 27th birthday party Diddy threw for Meek in a luxury palace out in Vegas. Matching designer fits, dramatic entrances, dancers in lingerie, and even models turned into human sushi platters covered in see-through vinyl. Witnesses later said the mansion was wrecked by morning. Broken glass everywhere, trashed rooms, stains on sheets, expensive stuff destroyed, and chaos left behind. The kind of scene people still whisper about years later. According to the whispers that never died down, that wild Vegas night wasn't just chaos. It was allegedly the same night that compromising recording was made. Fast forward to now, and boom, 50 Cent drops Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Then he starts teasing that he's got even more unreleased footage locked away. Footage the public still hasn't seen.
Meek likes being brought up in that song.
The kind that could flip the whole story upside down. And the streets wasted no time circling right back to one name, Meek Mill. If 50 really cracks open that vault and more tapes come out, the question might not even be, did Meek deny it? But was Meek just the first chapter in something way bigger? Because now another name's being whispered, French Montana. People been side-eyeing that connection for years. French and Diddy weren't just label buddies. They were practically joined at the hip. Same flights, same mansions, same VIP tables, same late-night scenes. Old photos popped back up online, and fans started zooming in, saying the body language between them looked way too close for just bros. Diddy didn't exactly hide the favoritism either. He literally named a vodka flavor after French, took him everywhere, and hyped him like blood family. But behind the scenes, people started whispering that French's Bad Boy record deal wasn't as free as it looked. The talk was that his rise came with some hidden strings, career favors traded for private loyalty. Nothing confirmed, but the streets haven't stopped talking. Then, just when things started to cool down, more birthday footage resurfaced, throwing French's name right back into the storm again. That resurfaced footage of French had the internet buzzing like crazy. There he was, shirtless, oiled up, and right beside him stood Diddy, singing like he was celebrating himself through French. The whole vibe looked way too personal, and fans couldn't stop replaying it. Then came that old clip that really didn't age well. Diddy talking about making some wild magic with French. Back then, people laughed it off, thinking it was just playful talk between friends.
He says, I'm gonna kill you academics, and what I'm gonna do is, he says, first things first, he says, someone send me academics address.
But he said, I'll die to shut you down.
Yeah, then he says, I'm going to die to do it.
But now, that same clip hits totally different. Folks are saying it didn't sound like celebration energy. It sounded more like ownership energy. The comments online were ruthless. And if these so-called tapes really exist, nobody's shocked that French's name keeps coming up right behind Meek's. But now, there's a new name spinning in the chaos. YK Osiris. And his situation gets messy fast. Back in 2021, YK was publicly down bad, selling his luxury cars, crying on IG, and talking about how life humbled him hard. At first, fans actually felt bad for YK Osiris. He looked down bad, broke, and humbled. But then out of nowhere, boom, he's suddenly chilling in a luxury villa in Jamaica. Private ocean views, 5-star treatment, everything top tier, and guess who just happened to be there too? Diddy. YK tried to play it off like it was just a healing trip, talking about peace and self-growth, but his post told a whole different story. The same pool, same property, same backdrop kept popping up in both their videos, and fans started connecting the dots. Then came that massage video and the now infamous fruit platter post with that suspicious camera angle that had everybody convinced Diddy was the one filming it. The streets even started calling it a sponsored getaway. But things really blew up when YK's baby mama stepped in with a shocking claim. She said she caught him with another man. No names, no details, just dropped the bomb and disappeared. That one statement sent the internet into chaos, with people instantly wondering if that other man might have been Diddy.
Y'all already know how we playing out this real life.
Real life.
Yeah, nigga, no Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you
Talk
heard?
that shit, Meek. Yeah, Meek.
Not long after, YK hit the Breakfast Club, and when Charlemagne brought up the rumors, you could see it all over his face. His body language gave him away. Eyes darting, hands shaking, hoodie pulled tight. He tried to laugh it off, but it wasn't that kind of laugh. It was nervous, forced, almost panicked. Since then, YK's been breaking down online, posting about feeling used, empty, and saying he didn't even want to be here anymore. The reaction split the internet. Some say he knew exactly what he was getting into, while others believe he was pushed into situations way beyond his control. Either way, if those tapes are real, people believe YK's pain didn't just come out of nowhere. It came from something deeper. And now, another name is spinning back into the mix. Usher. Most folks forget. Usher was only 13 years old when he went to live with Diddy in New York, supposedly for mentorship under the Bad Boy camp. Years later, Usher opened up and said some of the things he saw in that house were curious. He didn't go into detail, but he made one statement that still echoes today. He said he'd never let his own kids go through what he went through. That line hit hard, and over time, it only got louder. As Usher grew older, the rumors followed him. Whispers about lawsuits, health issues, and wild stories allegedly linked to Diddy's private parties. Back then, most folks laughed it off, but now, people are starting to look at it all with new eyes. Now, those old stories don't sound funny at all. They sound straight up dark. What really makes it hit harder is what Usher did next. After everything he went through, he turned around and became a mentor himself to none other than Justin Bieber. Justin was just 13 years old when Usher brought him into Diddy's world, introducing him to the music mogul like it was a dream come true. But now, that old footage has resurfaced. Clips of Diddy bragging about spending 48 hours alone with Justin, saying what they did couldn't be discussed, and calling it every kid's dream. Back then, people laughed it off as harmless jokes. But now, that same clip has people calling it grooming behavior. Years later, Justin's emotional interviews hit way different. He's crying on camera, talking about betrayal, deep isolation, and struggling with addiction. Then, one by one, he starts cutting ties, unfollowing everyone connected to his early career. Usher, gone. Scooter Braun, gone. And that wasn't some random cleanup. It felt deliberate. When Justin quietly unfollowed his former manager Scooter Braun on Instagram, it looked small at first. But to fans watching closely, that move spoke volumes. A lot of people now believe Justin was cutting ties with everyone who failed to protect him when he needed it most. And with all this new talk about tapes and unreleased footage, fans can't help but wonder, could Bieber's emotional scars be linked to things that were never supposed to be caught on camera, but were anyway? The thought alone has people uneasy. Then another name started spinning through the storm, Burna Boy. This one shook the whole international scene. Diddy was the executive producer on Burna's Twice as Tall album, which won him a Grammy and led to a very public brotherhood between them. The two were constantly posting emotional captions, holding hands in pictures, and sharing deep personal moments, stuff fans are now rewatching in slow motion, trying to catch details they might have missed. No proof, no confirmation, but it spread like wildfire online. Soon after, several more clips of the two looking unusually close started resurfacing, including that viral moment of Diddy literally lifting Burna off the ground like he was holding on to someone special. Nigerian artist Speed Darlington jumped in, mocking the situation and throwing heavy shade. Burna didn't take it lightly. He clapped back hard, dropping threats, even getting the police involved. Then suddenly, silence. Fans started whispering again, saying Burna was moving like a man protecting a secret too fragile to let out. Then another deleted Diddy post resurfaced, one where he seemed to hint that he helped Burna Boy secure that Grammy. Suddenly, what once looked like brotherhood started to look a whole lot more like leverage. After that, Burna began laying low, canceling shows, acting out at events, moving with heavy mood swings. Fans noticed the shift right away, saying his energy felt off and his spark was fading fast. Now people are whispering that if more tapes drop, Burna's name might be way closer to the surface than he wants. But just when you think that's the end, another name enters the storm. Brycer Gray, better known as Hakeem from Empire, young, talented, full of potential, then his whole world came crashing down. Jaguar Wright even hinted that Brycer got pulled into powerful industry circles he wasn't ready for, allegedly connected to Diddy and even Will Smith. What followed were lawsuits, rumors of sabotage, mental breakdowns, arrests, and long stretches of isolation. Insiders claimed his calls stopped getting answered, like the industry just turned its back on him overnight. Then actor Orlando Brown started echoing similar stories, saying that sometimes acting unstable was the only way to survive after seeing too much. He even claimed Diddy tried to control him and pressured him into destructive habits. And now, another heartbreaking name is being brought up, Aaron Carter. This one hits deep. While Aaron never said Diddy's name outright, he often spoke about being dragged into Hollywood parties at an age when he should have been protected. He talked about adults failing him when he needed help the most. People close to him said that before his passing, Aaron had started opening up more, talking about trauma, pain, and experiences he was never emotionally ready to handle as a kid. It's haunting stuff that fans can't stop revisiting. When you line up Brycer, Aaron, and Orlando's stories next to everyone else's, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Fast rise, wild access, and then a total breakdown. And now, another loud name just got thrown right into the mix, Soulja Boy. This one's wild because Soulja's been out here talking big ever since Diddy's fall from grace, acting like he's spotless, untouchable, and had zero connection to that whole scene. He's been clowning Diddy, mocking Meek, and posting crazy stuff online like he's sitting on some kind of moral high ground, throwing shade at rappers, calling them cupcakes, and flexing like he's the only one who made it out untouched. Remember that viral post where he said, "If Diddy ever tried me like any of these rappers, I would have handled it differently." Then he hopped on X and dropped another tweet so bold, it froze timelines everywhere. But the streets never forget, and soon enough, the receipts started rolling in fast. Nicki Minaj even hinted during a live stream that Soulja might not be as clean as he claims. She asked him straight up about DL rappers in the game, and his reaction? That shaky laugh you give when somebody's getting way too close to the truth. Then Nicki went live again, this time with Ray J, and things got even heavier. They started spilling tea about rappers in the industry who secretly mess around with men while publicly disrespecting women. She didn't drop any names, but fans instantly caught on, saying it was clear who she was talking about. And just when it couldn't get messier, an old podcast clip resurfaced featuring a guy named William the Baddest, claiming Soulja got caught up in some very questionable behind-the-scenes activity at a private industry party. That clip blew up overnight. People couldn't stop replaying it, picking apart every word, wondering how deep Soulja's story really goes. This whole saga just keeps getting wilder, and it feels like every week another name gets added to the list. What do you think really went down behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment if you want the next part of this story, because trust me, it only gets crazier from here.